Hello and welcome to episode 33 of our Timberborn Update 6 Waterbeavers playthrough here in cycle 38, day 9. Last time we got a bunch of good stuff done, and of course there is still more that needs to be done, and there probably will still be more that needs to be done until the heat death of the universe. But today we are here, and that is not today. So we're going to continue what a stupid intro. We're going to continue working on a whole bunch of different stuff based on your comments, and a couple of the ideas that I've had, and long-term goals as well. So let's start off taking a look at this whole mess over here. The Tree Nursery, if we just hit pause real quick, is not watertight. This is not said in the item description, so I just want to make that like abundantly known. It does not say it's not watertight, but I should have remembered, and it has been confirmed by mod creator himself that this cannot be here, and also that this door does not work, and that is a thing that has since been fixed for update 7. Remember, we're super far behind on versions here, but that can safely be removed and replaced somewhere else. I think what is going to make the most sense is to take that out as well. And because you take a look at this, it says the house body can connect from the bottom to a ladder or pit and ladder lodge. Why don't we just make it easy for ourselves and put one of those guys down here with a hauler's tower segment. Just like that. I think this should work if I build that there and then, you know, put some other stuff off to the side here. Just give it a platform and then a platform here. I believe this thing lied to me. It lied to me. Come on, man. I'm trying so hard. I'm trying so hard. Just throw me a bone. Throw me a bone, please. All right. Now that it's solid... Oh, there's a tree here. That's actually probably why. Yeah, alright. False alarm. First, let's remove the tree. They probably can't actually get to this. Let's bring this down here just so we have access to something. Remove the pine tree, and then we will have to see what ends up happening here. But... yeah, you know, I had ideas, and I thought they were smart. It wasn't that smart. Great start to an episode, but, you know, no take-backs. So, I am going to put the haulers with the side door in here, just because I don't trust things, and I know that if I don't do this, then it's not going to work. If I do, then the other one might have worked, but I know for sure this will allow me to do this. Okay, so side door, remove the tree, put the other stuff back, and then put in the Tree Nursery on top, just like this. It'll be one level up. It doesn't want to let me do it, but then that can just get connected down here, and we can plant all of our stuff, and everything's going to be just fine. All right, we can unpause, because I really didn't want that to be finished. Other stuff we've talked about. Want to check on our whole mess over here with all of this rice. These fermentation barrels need to be deprioritized as workplaces. Remember, they can continue fermenting if nobody's in there. Unless that's wrong, in which case I'm sure you guys will let me know, because I can never ever keep this straight. But this is a whole lot of beavers to be prioritized doing stuff that isn't really that important objectively. So that's going to help that. We have space over here, should we choose to, you know, use it properly, to put in a couple more Litos. I did see that as a suggestion in the comments. And I also saw that, you know, we have so many trees being grown over on the other side of the map. We really don't need to be growing especially not these, but we really don't need to be growing that many Everblossoms over here. And this is space that is already in the range of the harvester's cottage for purpose of chestnuts, where I can just put some chestnuts here, and then our tapper's flag, that's right here, could have all of these be pines, which means these trees, a lot of these trees, could just be chestnuts. So I will cut these pines down, because this is all close enough to be harvested as, you know, chestnuts from the harvester's cottage. And then everything that is not inside of this will end up being pine trees. That'll end up being a net gain of pine trees. So, in fact, that would allow me to put in probably all of these as chestnuts as well. I think that'll be fine. Let's blow this up, double dynamite-wise, and now this is ready for additional planting. Let's just grab these out of here. That can come out as well, and then, of course, you know the drill. It is what it is. These guys will cut stuff down. They will not be replanted. I have deplanted all of that. This also will need to be deplanted. Deplanted is not a word. Yes, okay. You know what I'm getting at. Another long day, long week, long month, but the beavers are here, and there's healing power in playing with them on the internet. So, another weird thing I guess you can quote out of context. Moving on to other concerns from last episode. We've talked about the tree nursery, we've talked about this tree farm, we've talked about the fermentation barrels. We haven't talked about the issue with the mountain salt. Now, we do have 95 left still, but the mine that was up, okay, it was up here, has not been replaced, and this is not, see, look at this again. Look at this again, the sunflowers, because this did not have actually it's this one, didn't have any water in it. I really hope the beaver who works here, okay, the beaver who works here is carrying water. We need to keep that supplied better. Some of you did catch this, and I was going to get this a little bit later on down the list, but the sunflowers being so close to the poison probably is not that good of an idea. But at this point, we're not quite ready to move them in here yet because this water hasn't evaporated. But we're probably going to end up doing just that. These, for right now, for the most part, are fine. It's not ideal, but it does work okay. It works enough. And I guess that is fine. I also saw a couple suggestions to plant red cabbage in a couple of these spots, which this actually isn't going to let me do. Okay. Well, that's awkward. I'll just plant right there. What this does is it allows the farming assistant beavers who live in this attic here to have something to do, and it takes away the "I don't have anything to do" thing. So, really should, anytime you have one of those with the assistant farmers, you really should have some of that planted. But now that I unplanted that, it wouldn't let me change it until the cabbage that was left over on the ground was removed, so now we don't have to worry about it. Unpaused. Also see a comment in the last video talking about our big storage for green peas. Now that we're producing a lot of those, we probably don't need this. I'm going to say there's probably no reason to take this out quite yet, but I will agree with the rest of the comment that said we should have more storage for scrap metal because we are making it. There's not a whole lot to harvest left on the map that's easily accessible, and it would be a mistake for us not to have enough room for all the stuff we're making. So over here, we do not have scrap metal storage. We do have storage for other things that we maybe don't need to have quite so much of, but fundamentally we do need to have more storage for scrap metal, so I will, for the sake of what we are supposed to be doing, pop in one of these guys right here, and then I will take this spiral staircase away because we are supposed to have this attached to other stuff, and then I guess I can just keep on stacking these large industrial piles right here, and then as we keep making additional metal blocks for additional ladders, then I can continue making it possible for the beavers to get in and out of this area. I think right here is going to make the most sense to have this, and then I'll do tall platforms to get over to this side. Again, all of this is stuff that will just take time, and we will have to wait, but it will be very much worth having a whole bunch of storage for stuff in different parts of the map, and we'll leave this there and move on. Another really, really smart thing that I wish I would have been able to take credit for myself, but instead I learned through the comments, was the mushroom growers that are making the brain-stimulating mushrooms. If we take a look at our goods consumption, again, one of the best mods I've ever seen. I'm so glad this exists. Brain-boosting mushroom starts with B. Brain-stimulating mushrooms. These are only being consumed by the distilleries that are... Wait, why are they both making pollution resistance factor? That's not supposed to be... what's going on? Wait. Where's my other one? Oh, this one. That's right. We were going to move it away so we could plant stuff here. Anyway, this, all can go away because now this is over here. And this is all land that we're not doing anything else with. It's polluted, it's unusable, undesirable, whatever. Easiest thing for us to do is just to move these mushroom growers over here. It's not super far away from where the bad water is being taken up, and it's just a smart way to use space. So we will begin the process of taking care of all of this appropriately, which will, of course, say it with me, just take time. Man, I should make mugs that say that. I'd probably sell a bunch of them. I digress. 2 here. Probably should have... Well, I don't see any of these left. I probably should have at least 3, maybe 4, depending on how much we're going to be using. But you get the idea. It's not rocket surgery. Shouldn't be, at least. We've got a storage here for strong alcohol, water, half-fermented sake. We really should use one for bad water, because I've got 300-something over here, but we all know it's going to take more than that. So this was kind of a temporary, just poorly optimized, badly organized setup over here. I was never at any point claiming that this was good. But we can't just say, oh, we'll fix it later if we never fix it later. So what is it? What's that Shia LaBeouf, like, viral thing? Today is yesterday's tomorrow. Yesterday you said to what anyway, just do it, etc. That can go there. I've got these 2 here. I suppose I should have another one kind of in this general vicinity. So we'll do that, and that should be fine. They'll build this eventually. They will get there. It will be okay. And we'll move along. So we've made a lot of space available over here. This scrap metal can go away. These beaver jails probably should go somewhere else if we're going to be utilizing this space for the purpose of actually growing stuff. And these are all of our blueprints. They can go somewhere else. I'm not going to move them right now because I don't really have anywhere else for them to go. But I think that will be fine. Handicrafter's Lodge, once again, should move somewhere else. But I tried and failed to put this up here, and I can't build a ladder on top of the Handicrafter's Lodge just to prove that I can... Wait, what? Oh, come on, man. Seriously? Gonna make me a fool. Oh, wait, no. We tried this. We tried this. I can't put it here. And I can't... Wait, I totally can't, except that blocks the entrance. Somebody said, oh, the skewer platform. That doesn't work. Alright, so... Never mind. Alright. I've been busted 4 times over with this now. It's time to move on. Oh, I swear. Pencil set storage. Where am I going to put... That's the only... Seriously? That's the only pencil set storage? Okay, what's using pencil sets? Just this guy making comic books. Okay, well, I guess this is an okay thing to have right here. It's not ideal, but... that explosive storage does not need to be there. This instead can be changed over to pencil sets, which makes sense to put right in this exact spot. We can also... Get out of here. We can also, because of how this is set up, build right on top of this, which will allow me to put in yet another little warehouse. That is a long, tiny warehouse. Better storage for pencil sets. And just because it should have somewhere to go, I'll just put explosives in there. That would be the only explosive storage, once they have somewhere for that to stick. So we got a lot of garbage on the ground. I know. For some reason, this makes a lot of people quite upset, so I will have them try to pick up some of this, but obviously it doesn't all have a place to go. We need to make more dynamite. The only way to make more dynamite is if we have somewhere to put it, and the only way to have somewhere to put it is if they build it. And the only way to make the dynamite that isn't to have somewhere to put it is to have the materials to make the components, which include nitroglycerin, which includes sunflower oil, which includes all of this mess, which does have to have screw press axles, which we have 4. But we're going to need more, which is why these guys are doing what they're doing. Well, this one and this one at least. most of the way to having 2 additional ones. This is now empty. Again, something that can be changed. This can be emptied as they continue working on all of this stuff, which I am actually very surprised was made that quickly. Okay, good. Nice progress being made. Very nice progress being made. This water cannon needs to have its own water flow generating power, because as we see here, it's not quite enough to keep up. It varies, of course, depending on when beavers are working, and I don't have anywhere else here to put this. But because of how this has been built, if I were able to just remove a couple of these guys, I don't want to use my dynamite to do that quite yet, but it would not be too terribly difficult to just pop in a couple of these water wheels right around here. I can also just attach this directly here, but I don't think the water is flowing in that direction, and that would be kind of a waste of time. So let's take that out that way. Put that T-intersection there. Put that there, and then put that here. At least to get a little bit of flow going to help this out, and we can, of course, continue putting other stuff here. Those guys will take care of what they need to take care of. This is nice and full. We've got a river bath. We have plenty of trees being grown here. We have some... oh, we don't, because nobody's here. Which I guess brings us to the other problem. I seem to have accidentally created the infinite beaver machine once again. This district has 36 occupied beds and no kids, but it still has vacancies. So, as things get shuffled around, things are still not super great. This district has free beds and vacancies and kids. So, yeah, beavers are being created in a way that is probably not ideal, not optimized. We just need to have more beavers. Or, alternatively, like some of you have been, let's say, passionately advocating for the past, how many episodes has this been? 33. So the past 33 episodes, we can just build some well-being stuff. The reason I have not done that, mostly, is because everything in Waterbeavers is so spread out, it's really, really, really hard to have effective, even coverage of all of these different aesthetic enhancements. So I've instead favored doing stuff, we can just take a look at this, like having a bunch of different types of food, although right now this isn't the case. Things like possessions, which, again, have not been super great lately, but if we can get somebody making wooden toys, every beaver gets one, then that's a permanent boost for the rest of that beaver's life. Comic books, shell necklaces, and all that as well. And then these big things that have larger radiuses of influence, I guess we could maybe look at doing some of those. But then you have like the trebuchet and the Lido, like we talked about before. Really good ideas to get more of those put in place. But it takes time, and it takes space that we really don't have a lot of. So, I hope you can understand that this is a lot. It's a very, very involved process. It just is. These are growing, and I guess they'll be cut down in due time. But I do want to plant the chestnut trees because, again, they take a really long time to grow. A just stupidly long time to grow and bear fruit. So that can get planted there. And remember that anything inside the radius of the harvester's cottage is also going to need to be made a chestnut tree. And I already forgot. Good job. Okay, those two up to here. Now I can remember. And of course this forester does have to do that. Now we have a 7-day drought. I wasn't even paying attention. Let's close the floodgate dam. We have 7,500 water. That's fantastic. I love seeing that. And I know I said I don't need to take the beavers out of the pumps because we just need to pump all the time, but this is going to be dry in 7 days if we do not at least try to stem the flow here. So, the mechanized water pump inside of this is paused. That will help a lot. We only have like 4 of these pumps going, and I think it's probably okay to leave it like that. These guys do not have much charge at all, which is unfortunate. Water cannon is paused. The mechanical drill is paused. So now we're already consuming a lot less power. The demand is about 780, and again, we don't have much in the way of reserve power. So, taking a look here, the paper mill has 422. I'm going to pause that. This is already paused. This, it's still consuming power, I guess, but we're not really making anything. So if I hit pause, and I hit pause there, now our power consumption is only 280. And what's that drawing? That is doing sawmill. That's doing sawmill, and it's doing these 3 mechanized kitchen houses. We're still going to run out of power pretty quick unless we can generate more. But we can't really generate any more unless we get into solar arrays or we make an engine. Now the engine, 10 methane an hour, 240 methane a day, is probably a decent emergency power supply before we get to the nuclear stuff. But it's still 500 science, and it's still 240 methane a day, and this is a 6-day ordeal. So, really, the best option we're going to have is, once this runs out, to replace these light gravity batteries with regular gravity batteries. And I know that sounds kind of dumb, but it will actually enable this to be a viable strategy here. I am going to let those discharge. And fortunately, we're in a good spot with food and especially with water. So I'm not that worried about stuff. We have plenty of planks. The bigger issue is sawdust. And we have almost 1,000 sawdust right now. So what's the problem with sawdust? Well, it's not really very evenly produced. And it's very, very easy for us to get on either side of extremes into a spot where we just kind of forget about what's happening and don't solve problems. So the easy solution to that is just build a whole bunch of storage for sawdust so that when you're super overproducing it, then it becomes something that is easier to manage. But that's really not the best way to do this. I know, why would anyone listen to me about what the best way to do something is? I don't know, but I do have an obligation, a moral obligation, I think, to try at least and tell you the right things, even if I'm not doing them. What's that thing? He guides others to a treasure he cannot possess. I don't know. You get the idea. So I think, yeah, I just need to make sure I'm unmarking all of my pine trees. One step at a time, folks. One step at a time. What was this? Okay, that was a pine. That means it has to be replanted as... See how quickly I forget stuff? Chestnut tree. Gotta have more chestnuts. All about the chestnuts. So, we'll check in on that later. 5 days left. 6,100 water. 4,600 food. Even if a third of that is rice balls. But we're fine. We're doing A-okay. A little bit of gravity battery juice left there. About the same amount in these guys, so I think in the next day or two these will be empty. Which is going to be a great time for us to build 1 or 2 of these. Excuse me, assuming I actually have the resources, which thankfully I do. I barely do. Getting pretty low on metal blocks, which is, I guess, a bad thing to find ourselves low on in a time where we can't really make any more because we don't have enough power. But the good news is, this is here ready to go. Make us a little bit more water wheel power. This is retaining water, and the beavers can bathe, which is not something we could have said, 1 or 2 episodes ago. This is ready to get beef or boomed. And as a result of this, I think I can put... Oh... Why does this not work? But either side does. Why? Like, what's underneath this that's stopping this from being a viable strategy here? Sure, I guess. Yeah, okay, whatever. Man, I thought I was onto something. Instead, I'm just on something. I really hope this actually connects. Because it seems like it's really, really particular in how it's, before they start that. Yeah, what gives, dude? Come on. Obviously, I can't look up at the bottom of this thing to see if there's actually a hole there or not, but why does that work? Why does that work? Why does this not work? It says it can connect from the bottom to a ladder or pit and ladder lodge. That's what I have. So, like, I'm expecting them. Like, that still, it still has it shows me when I click on it, so I can only assume that that means it's connected, right? Like any other building that's actually connected to a path, as you can see those aren't, will show up with all of that stuff. So if this does not work, you will have to pardon me and all of the... Well, actually, I just cut that out if I end up swearing at it, but... Oh, man, this hurts my brain. Alright, never mind. I'm just going to let him build it. I'll shut up. I'll just let the disaster take place in real time. This is still waiting on tar. Okay. This is full. I don't have storage for pollution resistance factor. I probably should over here. I mean, I have 1,000 of it. I don't think I'm going to run out. But, I don't know. So much to think about. So much to think about. This is very good news, though. It's just about evaporated. There's very, very little. I can't even really show you. There's so little. I can't get the camera in there. But soon, we will be able to plant actual plants here. And it's going to be wonderful. Absolutely fantastic. Red cabbages, closer to purple, honestly, but that's working fine. I guess triple speed is going to be the order of the day here. Let's see, 181, 184. I'm going to go ahead and cut this now. And I will put in a regular gravity battery here at top priority, which they should be able to build, even if it does take them a while. And that'll give them a pretty decent chunk of power to work from. And then we will have that in place before the next good season comes in. Remember, the only thing powered past this is the water cannon that is currently paused. So that's why I chose to do this one and not the others. And that is empty. I'm not going to get rid of it, though, because I don't have the materials to build the other one. And that would be a little annoying to have to deal with otherwise. Maybe they'll actually have that done with half of the drought left. So this... Okay, that's not super priority, but it is going to be made. I probably don't need to replace these dams with something else, but what I can do is pre-plan what's going to go where. Now, this is double depth here. I remember saying last episode that this would be a good place to plant nenufars. However, that's what this is going to be turned into, and I don't think it's going to be that big of an issue to have those here, and we have so many lotuses over here that we are using a lot of, but we can continue having this area just be exclusively for lotuses. I think this is just going to have to be bamboo, and that's it. And we've talked about bamboo needing to be a 2x2 crop, and the way that that works in this game is that it goes from this camera orientation up and to the right from whatever it is. So, if I can figure out where the heck I'm... Okay. I've got space in here, 5 wide in the center, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 this way. So what I can do is I can treat this, I can ignore this bit, or I can blast it out. All I would have to do is put in 1 here, and then take this out here. That would give me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wide, which would be 3 plants wide, and then 3 plants this way. That's probably the simplest way to put a whole bunch of bamboo in here. That will then, however, cut off this bit unless I blast this out. So you see where this is going. Our beavers are going to have a blast. And by have a blast, I mean they're going to set off explosives. So, putting that corner out, putting that corner out, putting this out, now will give us... See, look at... Don't you love it when a plan comes together? All of this will just be precision engineered, and I will have to have the stairs moved back so they can actually access this without disrupting where something can be planted. But that is going to be great, and this will stay irrigated basically forever, no matter what. So we have... Well, I shouldn't say bomb-proof, because I don't know what else kind of possible unspeakable horrors we're going to uncover as we get deeper into the Waterbeavers Update 6. But for now, this should be asterisk idiot-proof, drought-proof, and everything else that I currently know exists proof. And we're just going to move on from there with that understanding. They won't get to this for a while. It's fine. We do have to have a ladder in place here so they can actually get down and then move on to everywhere else. But we will get there when we get there, and it's going to be fine. This just needs some metal blocks, which I'm hoping can be imported here. Do I have storage for metal blocks in this district? I do not. I have scrap metal. So I should hit pause real quick. And I should just put in a regular pile right here. Have that set to metal blocks, because they will use all my metal blocks that I cannot easily replace, building all the rest of this garbage unless they have somewhere to go. So what is using metal blocks right now? All the way down here, we have nothing. Check construction sites, though. That's where you're going to see it. All the way down here. 2 construction sites using metal blocks. This and this ladder. Let's pause this for right now and let them take care of what they're going to take care of, and then after that point we will build this. Remember, this isn't going to be usable until this building is built anyway, and this is still waiting on a sizable chunk of dirt and some water and the rest of those exotic seeds that they're somewhere. I don't know where that somewhere is, but they are somewhere. They actually could be... No? Are they in here? No. Are they in... These don't store anything. So I've got this warehouse holds 36, which would explain why I'm still missing 14. Where's the rest of the stuff? Okay. See, I let these guys continue pumping, and now there's 2 days, and none of the beavers can take a bath. But these crops should be fine without having water for a day and a half once this goes away. It's just, I know I need to get out of the habit of just pausing these all the time, so I'm not going to touch them. I will do you that solid. Hey, look at this. The sunflowers are already growing. I'm glad I had that set up before, because I would have completely forgotten. And see, look at this. We prioritized all this pickup, and they still haven't done it. That just goes to show you how long this takes. Pollution resistance factor. Most of that is stored over here. Probably should have a storage for that over here as well. And we do have bad water brought in here. That is fine. Oh, pollution resistance factor. Let's see. I want to blow everything up. It's so easy. It's so easy to do. Well, we'll get there. It's fine. Could be a lot worse. These died due to drying out. Very predictable fate there. And now this is dried out completely. Day and a half. Blueberries will be fine. These trees, unfortunately, will not grow, but they also won't die, so... You know, could be worse. Could always be worse. I can get the rest of this planted, though, so that when they get irrigated, they can do what they need to do. And then I can unmark the tree cutting on all of these new trees. And that should... No, that is an Everblossom that needs to be cut. Never mind. But this one does not need to be cut. That also gets done there. These are Everblossoms? Yes, they are. And these are pines. Remember, what we're planting down here is, because this can't reach out all the way there, this needs to be pines. All of this. Along with all of that. Needs to be pines, so that can be accessed by the tapper's flag. And I guess they can't reach all the way out here, but that's fine. We'll just move on. Do what we got to do. Oh, I forgot these were going to be unwatered, but they, you know, they can last long enough. Rice is pretty hardy. We'll have water in less than 1 day, so that's going to be fine. Alright. We're making progress. Slowly. And perhaps frustratingly slowly at times, but we are making progress. And the library is currently attempting to research, but it does not have kimchi. Which, if you'll remember, I think is only being made in a single thing right here. Let's take our fermentation barrels. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so there's 3 of these making kimchi. That's fine. Oh, I hadn't moved these yet. I did say I was going to move those. But I haven't. And these trees grew up quick, too. They were, last episode, not fully grown. But they're going to be giving us some chestnuts pretty soon. Let's make sure these aren't marked for cutting. I'm pretty sure I did not. Alright, that works. That's fine. I can live with that. Half a day left. Things are going swimmingly, except these are dehydrated, but they're not going to be poisoned. So that's fine. A-okay. And if I were a little smarter with this, I would have had this set to where there is a deeper track connecting both of these little ponds. But, you know how it goes. Stuff just takes time. Always does. And now it doesn't really matter because we have 0.2 days left. And they never finished this. Man, come on. You let me down. I made it so that this would have worked beautifully, and then the beavers let me down. What a shame. Oh well. Life goes on. We're 38 minutes into this and we still haven't really gotten anything done, but that's the way of the Waterbeavers. At least we have nice, clean, fresh water coming in for a little bit that we are hopefully going to be able to get all of these batteries recharged, especially now that we have more stuff here. I am going to leave this water cannon turned off for at least a little bit. I'm going to leave this turned off for at least a little bit while we continue doing what we're doing. I know we're out of coal, but that problem is going to take some time. I know. It's going to take some time for us to solve. I think I'm going to want to put another one of these mines here while we are working on all of that. Now all we have to do is just let the water be what the water is going to be. Open this up. Get these things pumping and move on from there. Look at that. We have 1,700 water left even after a 7-day drought where there's basically no pumping happening after this guy's stuff is all finished. I think that's fine. We're looking okay. Would love to be making more mushroom stew, but again, these had to shut off because they didn't have any power. And ingredient-wise, this is actually looking pretty good. Sunflower oil has been mostly solved, not entirely, but has been mostly solved since we've actually got power over here. Oh, see, this one had 20,000 left, so these guys were going the whole time. The library books, of course, still in here. We have 109 because I hadn't switched that back because the library wasn't making books. So I was trying to make science so I could unlock other stuff I said I was going to do. But I believe it's probably okay for us to put this back on books. That will help us get some kimchi stocked up at the very least. Yeah, because I've got paper. I've got a decent amount of pencil sets, or I had a decent amount of pencil sets. They're probably gone now. No, I have 305. Never mind, because I built that storage and then they filled them. Yeah, that's fine. I'll just leave this as it is. Alright, we got water coming back in here. That's all doing fine. This is producing 92 HP, which, you know, not a zero amount, but because this is disconnected, now this doesn't really matter. And I don't have metal blocks. So we need to expedite the creation of additional metal blocks. This is the one that was doing metal. Okay. Turn this back on. Which we need coal and scrap metal. Guess what we have? Scrap metal. Guess what we don't have? Coal. Guess how we can have coal? Oh, it won't let me click. We can turn this back to coal, which we have 500 iron, I know. You know, we have all this other stuff. I don't have the beavers working in these mines because these are not very efficient. And we have so many job holes currently that we need to fix. All in due time. We will get there. It will be fine. I guess I can plant these as pines. That's probably okay. These should be producing chestnuts, yeah, pretty soon here. I see 48 chestnuts there. That's looking fine. These guys are supposed to be making braised cabbage, but they don't have any workers because, you know, the beavers are off doing other stuff. But we do have haulers that can take care of a lot of that. Still making pollution resistance factor. We don't really need any more to be made, but it's good to have that going anyway. Half fermented sake is what it is. We do have a big tank. They're filling that up here, so that should, hopefully, assuming the beavers don't drink all of it, be ready to go to make strong alcohol, which, of course, goes into all these other things that we haven't gotten to yet. I do love the library on the cliff thing. I do think that's very cool. Alright, so now we have 2 additional library books. Remember that those are going to be brought once I change the recipe back. Going to be brought over here to the screw press. But right now, it's all hands on deck for the sunflower seeds. And this, I'm just now remembering, is not covered by this irrigation lodge because we have this poison water here. And I should have, shoulda, woulda, coulda, whatever. I should have, while this was still a drought, filled this in here because then it would not have been poisoned all over the place. And then I could remove that and I'd have more space to plant anyway. Hindsight's 20/20, so on and so forth. You get the whatever. Yeah. Look, my brain's tired. Now I can have this placed here, and this placed here. I don't think they have a way to actually walk down in the nasty yet, but they should be able to, on a long enough timeline, get over here without it being a huge pain in the butt. But somebody planted pumpkins in the way, and that's actually done. So guess what? Unplant the pumpkin. Then I can unplant. Never mind. I'll just unplant these pumpkins. We'll put this back in there, but I'm not going to wait. Not going to wait. Got too much other stuff going on. But eventually, this will just be completely blocked off, which means this can go away, this can go away, and less of this. Not all of it, but less of this will be consumed with the nasty water. We can at least enjoy that. Did they ever finish building? No, they did not. Come on. Come on. Where's the rest of my metal blocks? We really, really, really need this to be finished today. That would be tremendous. Because I got so many problems I have to solve. But at least our incapacitated beavers are not in the dozens anymore. Injuries, burns, mild diseases. Mild diseases is going to be the least controlled one at this point in time. But when we can finally have all of our domesticated brambles, we're going to be in great shape. It does, however, just take time. See, these guys, every 19 hours will give you 2 versus cutting down the regular ones. But I digress. We've talked about this quite a lot already. And this is almost ready to go, just need the rest of our exotic seeds, and I don't know where the rest of the exotic seeds are. Is that going to be something that was on the ground here that was already placed in? Because all I see is dirt. Aha! No storage space available. That is probably because they're in a different district. Okay, well, just for the sake of getting something done, let's just build ourselves a storage here. And then they'll pick it up. Maybe, eventually. Because that is... No, that's this district, which I know... Wait a second. No, this is the one that has the storage... Okay, never mind. It's in both districts. It's just this district doesn't have it. Sometimes this is a lot to keep up with. But, ooh, guess what? Beaver boom. Beaver boom. Beaver boom. Somebody left a comment saying at one point that I was eventually going to say beaver boom. There you go. I said beaver boom. Now it can all be B4 boom the rest of this time. Okay, they can't reach that. They can't reach this yet. That's fine. They'll get that taken out. This probably has nothing else to do except be rice. Unless I blow this up with even more dynamite and make it into a whole bunch of nenifars, which I don't really care to do. Not yet, at least. Still waiting on metal blocks. This is like the speed of smell in space with no oxygen, so you're not going to smell it anyway. I got builders, theoretically, that could do stuff, but they're not. Now I have 3 more exotic seeds, and that's going to be it to get this finished. And I guess I could have this ladder go. I need them to come over here and take care of all this stuff, man. Need it. And I also probably should have waited to build all the ladders and access, because now it's not going to be a straight line path. And that will be somewhat irritating to fix. Oh well. Life goes on. This needs to move anyway. It needs to be inset into something else. So, not to, you know, just constantly blow stuff up, but if I have a staircase here, that means all of this can be planted, and then this will still allow me to plant here, then that can go there. You know what? I am just blowing everything up, huh? How convenient. Well, that'll go there. I'm trying to maximize everything I got here. You know how it goes. Takes time. These guys can't reach everything. Not yet. But they will once this is operable. So that should give us, in theory, a path through here, up through here, and then out through here. I think is how that is set up. 95%, 96%, 97%. Come on, get this thing finished. I got so much stuff I want to plant. It's not even funny. And there we go. So now I have space for 6 beavers and 2 workers. Let's hit pause and talk about what the tree nursery actually does. All of this. All right, talk over. Giant sequoias take 50 days to grow. They're very large trees. I believe they are 3 by 3. Unbelievably tall bamboo. We've talked about. Banana trees have to be built in a greenhouse. Grapes have to be planted in the radius of the tree nursery, but they're a lot more forgiving on what they can and cannot do space-wise. No! I clicked the... Okay, so now that that's over, I was attempting to demolish this, but the hitbox betrayed me. So now that I've demolished this pisses me off so unbelievably badly, I cannot even articulate in family-friendly terms. Now I don't have an... man. I'm mad. I'm actually mad now. Because I don't have any spicy soda, and now I... God. Yes. Family-friendly words. There are none. I'm going to have 3 batches of this, which is going to take like 9 days if I had the spicy soda, which I don't. So now I... oh my god, dude. Okay. I love it when random junk happens. So now this is the most important job on the map. I'm so mad. I'm honestly furious. But... ugh, God. It is what it is. What am I going to do about it? At least they can come over here and put all this junk in that we aren't going to be able to do for the rest of the episode anymore. Alright. I got water. I don't have bramble flowers. It takes 5. I need 150. I need 150 of this, man. At least I have these guys I can cut down. Jeez. Okay. Well, no sense being super angry, just bitter about it. Just get it done. What can I pause? What can I save jobs with? It's fine. These guys are already in here. I just How did that? How was I so careless? That could do that. All right. Well, this can be exploded. That can be exploded. That can be exploded. That can be exploded. I can start building these stairs again. That goes there. That goes there. I guess this could also be exploded. Just be regular stairs. This could be gone. But it's probably better for me to just take those out. Take that out. Take that out. Yeah, just come and get your stuff. Come get your slop. And they still haven't finished this. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. That's like a week ruining thing that I just did to myself there. Well, at the very least, we have storage over here. This is empty and can be removed. Hooray! I've got dynamite. I have to move all this stuff still. I don't have anywhere else to put this, but I do have 250 pencil sets. Hooray! What am I supposed to do with myself here? What am I supposed to do with myself? Well, so... God, I can't believe it. Stop complaining and move on with your life. You got it. But how... What am I supposed to do, though? Well, we're recharging these guys, at the very least. That's working. I've got plenty of gears. I will continue needing gears. I still don't have enough spicy soda for this. I don't have bramble flowers. I will not have bramble flowers unless I synthesize them, and I can't synthesize them without sawdust. Oh, you can make lotus flowers with dirt. Okay. Does this district have sawdust? It does. Is it importing it for any purpose? Let's see. No. Alright. Is this going to be a pain in the butt to build? Probably, but I don't really have much of a choice. Okay, where can I put this? Where it's going to actually allow this to exist in a way that makes sense. Probably here, which means I can take that out. Okay. I will do that. I'll put that there. Get that connected. This needs to be preemptively set to bramble flowers. Where is my sawdust storage in here? Do I have... No, I want this district. I don't have sawdust storage here. Okay. Well, now I do. And now I have to sneeze. Okay. That can go there. Man, look. I'm sorry, it's going to take me a long time to get over that. Okay. So that will allow me to get to here and here. That'll take care of that. I can at the very least get these laid out. Unbelievably tall bamboos. Here, here, and then there eventually. Same deal. Same deal. Like, aren't those cool? Don't you just love that? It's fun. Oh, God. Okay, I have space here. I will have them come in and clean cut this. Obviously, stuff's not going to grow where it's poisoned, so there will need to be strategic decisions made about what gets planted in which spot. And whether or not I should take this thing down, the answer is probably yes. But it's going to take a lot of resources to make that happen, and it shouldn't be a high priority. This might actually be a good place to put another mine, because this is going to be very hard to do with anything else. Alright, exotic seeds at least are getting stored there. We'll let them continue coming in to take advantage of all this stuff. That's there. If I really want to be smart about this, I can have this whole mess out as well, but I don't have that much dynamite. We'll figure it out. It's going to be all right. Okay, pine resin, pine resin, pine resin. I am out of pine resin. Okay, well, you know what that means. Oh, I don't even have any in the burn unit. Okay. That is a flaw of my whole setup here, yes. I will readily admit that. But let's just check this one more time here. Because we're getting very close. That needed to be set up as chestnuts. Okay. That's done. That's done. That's done. Actually, that one probably should be chestnuts too. Yes, okay. That is planted as such. Pine, pine, pine. Pine, pine, pine. Okay. So that means... Now, this is basically everything it needs to be once those pines are planted. The forester probably doesn't have to go away. And if I did make it go away, then the only way anything else could grow here is if I unplant the closest couple of chestnuts. So I think that's probably what's going to happen. Because I don't think there's anything else that can really get done here. But all the trees that are going to be accessible, at least, except that one, have been planted. So that's fine. This still isn't done because I don't have pine resin, but I will soon. I forget that I have access to this, and I should be using it. Let's do that. This is not operating. I should have turned that back on, so we'll take care of that. I was just wanting to save power, which now this is in place. I can actually use everything. Alright, let me make sure there's nothing else I was supposed to talk about. I'm sure there was. We talked about mountain salt needing to be replaced in terms of production, and I have not done that yet. And I guess I could turn this back on for the sake of the coal, but now I do have drill bits, that's fine. That means if that's doing coal, then eventually I won't have to worry about this, but the dirt and the waste rock has basically all been used in the construction of this thing, which, rest in peace. Now I have 14 of this. I hope they can actually reach over here. They should be able to. Alright, let's plant the rest of our bamboo. It is kind of hard to see, but that will work very nicely there. That will go there, 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 there. I'm going to have to figure out how to actually see this at some point, but I'll go there. That'll go there, and then I've got... Wait a second. Alright. Ah! Okay, that was in the wrong spot. I knew something was up. I knew something was slightly off. There. That's what we're looking at. The rest of this doesn't necessarily have to be unbelievably tall bamboo, but this is such an important crop for us to have, I wanted to plant it first. I really should have had at least one of those giant sequoias planted before I tried to delete anything. I had no idea. No idea that was going to do that. Oh well. What are you going to do? This Peacock court probably needs to go somewhere else. And remember I was talking about putting in well-being and then I just didn't do it? These are just so expensive. Ugh. So expensive. Why is this like this? Oh, and I can't make this because I don't have giant logs. That's what the giant sequoias are for. Public fountain for 100. I guess is fine. Sure, I'll build something. I'll throw you guys a bone. But there's not really great places to put this stuff. I can't build on top of here. I can't put this here. I guess I could put it in the middle of the water, but what kind of point would that serve? There's not good places for this stuff, man. It's really easy to sit there and say, hey, you build this. And you're not wrong, but where am I supposed to? Oh, this was going to be a tank, but I guess this is about as good of a place as any. I have to just pop one of these things. That's fine. Life goes on. Why is this drying out? There's no water. Okay. Well, it's fine. See, I have all this space and now I don't have enough dynamite to do anything with it. But we did make extra space. This was supposed to be removed and now it is. Got 250 pencil sets stored here. 240. I don't have anywhere else to put them right now. I will need to build another storage of pencil. What even uses pencil sets? What even uses pencil sets? I should know. Okay, this to make comic books and then the library. Alright, well. How's the library doing? I have 41 library books. Okay, and over here I have 109, so we still have 51 to make. Do I even want to know if this has actually made spicy soda for the purpose of sending? Okay. Well, we're going to get 5 there. We have these exotic seeds picked up. No more exotic seeds on the ground. Oh, I sure hope I have more. Okay, well 38's fine. Whatever. That's not even the... Man, this like absolutely destroyed me. I can't do this. What a stupid thing. Alright. Well, they're going to build it. Whether or not I sit here complaining about it is a different story. I also just realized that this is going to be slightly offset in a way that is suboptimal. So now I will need to undo that and move it over one more. Well, at least we know for sure this is going to be a decent setup for growing stuff. So hard to see stuff. Okay, that goes there, that goes there. Then this goes here. And then I just have extra space here. That's fine. That can stay open. And then the rest of this doesn't really matter. This is just bamboo land. And then I need to find somewhere to grow the giant trees. We can't have any part of it be poisoned. Okay, now we got a drought in 3 days. I got 7,300 here. These are full. These are filling. I guess that's okay. Drill bit wise, I have 6 of these in here. That should last a decent bit, but we do need to keep making more of those. Paper wise, we're getting kind of low. That is a problem. Are these... Oh, you know what? You know what? I should have deprioritized... Come on. Should have deprioritized these. Okay, well. That's working. Got 1100 science. I still have not unlocked the ENS. I know it's 2000. We don't have that. It's fine, but... We are kind of, maybe, in some sense of the word, almost prepared to get this thing somewhere. It's going to take some time. But at the very least, we have restarted this miserable, depressing process. And they're picking stuff up. This is... it's supposed to have somebody in there. This is supposed to be making bramble flowers. This is in the process of getting us 5 more every 3 days. See, I didn't want to... I wanted this to do something today. I don't want to end this episode until I've rebuilt it, but now I need... I need like at minimum another 7 days worth of trade. Well, I guess it's going to be the entire rest of the drought then. You know, I never time-lapse Waterbeavers. I may end up doing it. I may end up having to do it. I don't really see much of another option, to be perfectly honest with you. Well, the public fountain is public fountaining. Remember, the well-being of 17 gives us a higher life expectancy. So, and working speed at 15. That's the biggest one, is the working speed. With Waterbeavers, at least at this point in time. See, it's so expensive to build these. Rooftop terrace, if I had slightly better layout of stuff, would probably be a good thing to have. I guess for right now, see what's over here. We got mushrooms, we got those, that's for these things. And then this is, it just is what it is, making fried rice. I can always take this out later. I'm just going to put a rooftop terrace here because I know they can use it. And where else? What else can I do? Peacock needs to go somewhere else. That's not really convenient. But there's not a lot of space. Not a lot of space. At least it doesn't have to be on ground. I could put it on top of another building. And this doesn't even fit here. But I probably don't have to have access this way. See, I hope you can understand that this is actually very hard. Like, it's genuinely very difficult to try and make this work. This doesn't, okay, I've got 92 of these, that's fine. Let's see if I can fit this here. Okay. Is there anything else? Like, again, we have limited options. See, if I'm trying to get the ENS, I don't need to be spending science on these things. But it helps us get there faster. So... no, that's it. I can't allow myself to be any more distracted by this. Those bad things are going to happen. I'm pretty sure they're just going to eat the kimchi no matter what. But, I guess it's fine. These guys are just continuing to make books, as one does. At least all the seeds are in here now. 82%. We're getting there. I just have to have more spicy sodas, which I do have enough for the next round. I guess that's fine. That'll continue going in. Yeah. Alright, is that full? It's full enough. It's full enough. Okay. I already blasted all that out. So before this drought starts, every square of this I blast out that can be pumped increases the likelihood that this is not going to go completely dry. But there's only so much that can be done, and I do need a better solution long term than just having this be in the same spot where the pumping occurs. So I guess, somebody might have even mentioned this, but I guess I probably should look into putting in one of those other pools that isn't getting pumped from, like right here. Why did I not? Okay. Alright. There's your solution, folks. There's your solution. Now I can really only put one of these in here, but I got all turned around. See, that's not going to fit. That would fit if I blew this up. Okay. I should have done this a long time ago. And I didn't. Ooh, you know what? I actually don't know if a bridge can go over the top of this. Let's test this. Okay, good. 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 This will help. This farmhouse does not need to be here, because this farmhouse can harvest all this mess, and this farmhouse can plant all this mess. So before this gets built, yeah, that's going to go away. I'm sorry I keep pausing this. Look, I'm so tired of making mistakes. Like, it hurts me on a fundamental, like, human level. Like, it is absolutely gut-wrenching. Oh, man. Just, why? See, you know, this doesn't even fit here. What am I doing? This was fine in this spot. I guess I could do that. Yeah, this farmhouse also was tending to these cabbages, but let's be honest, we'd be better off having a farmhouse up here and using the space in the water for other purposes. Okay, that could go there, but then that couldn't go there. But if I put that here and flipped it, yeah, okay, that's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do. We're going to demolish that. We're going to blow it up. This can still be here, and that is going to go there. Then that eventually will go there flipped. Okay. Alright, that's our plan. And I know this is not not the most beautiful setup you've ever seen, but it is what it is. And it will help keep the beavers clean and healthy, even if we don't have to keep water in here. Alright, we started the next batch, and I have enough spicy soda to do the third. We might end up being okay. They still haven't picked up all the dirt, though, which is kind of funny. Okay, so this is getting more full. I guess that's fine. I really need to... Oh, no, it's going to 0.7. Okay. Well, that's fine, then. I can just have this turned off until after our drought. Just manually pause it. I should have had the automation mod still in. I know somebody had me download it for one of the colony reviews, and then I was afraid of it, and I didn't want to mess anything up, so I got rid of it. These still aren't fully charged up, and they won't be. I got plenty of planks, though. We do have sawdust. So this is where I have to decide. Am I going to end up just time-lapsing this? Because there's so much more I could do, but I don't want this episode to be 2 hours long. Quiet those of you who actually want it to be 2 hours long. There are many more people who don't want it to be longer than 45 minutes, and I'm trying not to make people angry here. So, I guess I'm just going to time-lapse some water beavers here, and then just let them get what they got to get done, and move on from there. I don't know exactly how long it's going to be, probably most of this drought, but I really wanted this episode to have the Tree Nursery actually start planting stuff. So that is the commitment I'm going to make to myself and to you to get that happening, and I suppose that is what it is, and I will see you on the other side of this brief but hopefully productive time lapse. Okay. It's done. I'm not going to delete it. I just wanted to get rid of that warehouse. That's all I was trying to do. Okay, this can safely be switched back to sunflower seed mode. And we can stop making spicy soda. I can, in fact, now that I built this, switch this over to make lotus flowers out of dirt, which is a good way to get rid of the dirt. And this is a good thing for us to have to feed the beavers. And it's tradable. If things work out, you just might get emotionally scarred along the way. But now the Tree Nursery can actually plant unbelievably tall bamboo. We can actually get stuff happening. And everything will begin the healing process. And I managed to get this put in place, which means I can start demolishing all of that. And I did start putting these in. However, we don't have pine resin. So this is unfortunately going to take some time. And I'm going to need to make sure these beavers don't all go down here. But we have treatment available. Just, throw them in jail. That's totally how that works. We are starting to grow more of these pine trees. This is not irrigating for some reason. Oh, and that's because all this water went away a day and a half left. Okay, well. I said I wasn't going to pause pumps. I've done that. I only paused the automated ones. Now we have 12 beavers who are homeless, unfortunately. But this factory, one of these factories at the very least, should get turned back on. And we have power. We honestly could start making some more of this. I will turn this back on, get these beavers unhomeless, if that's even a word. And this other one that was making the laboratory glassware. Would love to be able to make solar cells, but I don't have glass panes, so that's a no. I already have anvils. I guess we'll just make more of these metal blocks, because we do have to have those. Which does mean we need to make more coal. This is operating to give us coal, and we do have coal. We don't have iron. So that's an easy switch to make. Look at how blue this is. Isn't that wonderful? Don't you just see this and instantly become filled with happiness? No? Okay, well that's fine. I can forgive you. Oh boy, but see, this needs to have triple dynamite, which I guess I might as well go ahead and research and just continue the process of doing all of this. Now, we do still have to have a second mine, and I thought I'd be able to have this set up correctly if I had thought about it. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wide. This gives me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 here, which means I will need to have that blasted out. And then the rest of this put in appropriately. So this is the border. This just needs to be 1. This needs to be 2. This needs to be 3. And the rest of it needs to be 4. At this rate, I'm just going to get the quadruple dynamite unlocked. Wait a second. The quadruple dynamite's the same cost as the triple. I don't think that's how that's supposed to work. So, what a happy accident, huh? So that goes down 4. This needs to be another 3, but because it's up 1, we can do 4. This can be another 4, and then these need to be 5. So I will have those put there. This is going to be all of the dynamite we've made for the next 3 episodes. Yes, I know, past tense to describe future production, but it's fine. It's fine. They'll make it work. We do have the ability, should we choose to accept it, to actually get stuff done. If we have nitroglycerin, which we're supposed to be making. If we had sunflower oil, which we are still waiting for some of that to get grown and harvested. Or traded for, which is in the process. We get 40 every 2 days and 12 hours. And we have lotus flower tea. We have methane. We are making lotus flower tea, and the beavers can drink it. So I guess that is a net positive. We've planted all of this stuff. And now, because we still have time, I don't have any plank storage. Let's just prioritize those so those can get picked up at some point in time. We have to get started planting giant sequoias, or we are really, really, really going to regret it. So, before we decide where is going to play host to these enormous trees for the rest of time, there's a couple things we have to keep in mind. 1, they are 3 by 3. This space right here is probably about the best place I could plant one of them right here. And they will start planting it, and you'll see it pop up here in the middle just as soon as that is done. Or once it grows, it'll be in this center square. I don't think we're going to have any poison coming over here, but I think it's going to make sense to just do 1 here, 1 here, 1 here. So that gives us 3 giant sequoias without any further weeping or gnashing of teeth. I think that's the correct orientation. It should be. Once this is removed, I can have more here, but getting 3 of them started is going to be key while we continue working on all the rest of this mess. One of these is ready to go. Set that bad boy off. Then that one's about to be next. I guess I could triple speed this. And there we go. This gets demolished next. This gets demolished next. They sure take a long time to... Yeah, you see what I'm talking about? It goes right in the center. And there we go. Now, to get these things harvested, there is a special building. I can't remember where it is. Giant Sequoia. There it is. Giant Sequoia Feller does have a range. It will need to be placed somewhere, but that can go anywhere. We just have to make sure the trees are in range of all this stuff. And then that will store a certain amount, but we have to have storage for the rest. And then after that, remember, this takes 50 days to grow. So this is at least like 2 episodes away from now. We're going to see the fruits of this. But that's why I wanted to plant it right now, because it's going to take a long time. And I have 1,300 dirt, which means if I really, really want to be special, and who doesn't want to be special, right? I put in 2 terrain blocks right here, upon which I could plant an additional giant sequoia. I can just pop that there. Obviously, it's not going to plant yet, but as soon as this is all gone, this can become a giant sequoia. I think this is going to be contaminated here, This here and this here will not be contaminated. I'm just planting this here because this is a space it'll fit. It's probably not the perfect space for it, but it's what I have access to, and this has been a very, very interesting day. So I'm going to plant domesticated brambles on those 6, and then because I have space here, maybe I won't. I think the domesticated ones don't spread. Don't quote me on it. I think before these are actually going to be a threat, if they are a threat, we will find out, or you will remind me in the comments that I'm dumb, and then I will fix it. But we need to have more production of these things. We just absolutely do. It's not optional. So I suppose I should just let this be what it's going to be, and not worry about it. Don't get stressed about it. What are you getting stressed about the beaver game for? Look, sometimes that's just the way it goes, folks. But one step at a time. That's all you can do. How close is this? 25 out of 30. See, there's a reason why I need to have all this actually taken care of correctly before I start running my mouth. That's fine there. This also was supposed to be dynamite, but now I have too much dynamite and too much stuff to do with it. Sunflower oil is in short supply. I know we're trying to increase the production. That's why I planted here. I almost forgot. Yeah, planted those here. That's fine. That's why I'm moving this, so hopefully I can get rid of that and have more stuff planted here. It just, unfortunately, takes time. But we have 5. Wait, how the heck did they plant this? Okay, I don't expect this to still be here next episode, for the record. That seems like very much like a glitch, but eventually this terrain will be put in place. It'll have, something for us to do with our dirt. These are growing, and they will be harvested. I think I have to have a gather. Yep. No. Yes. Gather. All right. I'm going to stop talking while I'm behind. This is going to be fine right here. But for the sake of, us having access to what we're supposed to be having access to, probably I'm going to have to put this, probably going to have to put this right here with a little path. Nope, I can't do that. It's going to be underwater. Glad I cut that. Let's see, that's not going to fit here because that's not blown up. I'll put it here. It's fine. This will still reach everywhere I need it to go. Minty bamboo shoots, as a reminder, can go into the distillery to make endothermic essence. We'll take a look at that recipe real quick. That is made with bamboo shoots and water. Super, super simple, super easy. I can probably just put another distillery right next to the Tree Nursery. And then from there, you put it in the Alchemist Lodge with some water and some strong alcohol, and you get ice blocks. Ice blocks are used for a variety of other purposes, and they can also, if I'm not mistaken, be traded. Oh, you can receive them in a trade. So what the heck do you... Alright. Look, I know there's something you do with these things. There's so much to keep up with this, and I honestly don't remember what half of it is. Where is... Oh yeah, the Firefly grooming station takes frozen human meat. Oh, maybe that's what it is. The storage, underground cold storage requires 100 ice blocks to build. We still have power. How about that? Okay, well, the drought's over. And now I guess the episode needs to end as well. I sure wish I had more dynamite. That would have been super, super convenient. Let's lower this. Start the process of giving everything else back to where it needs to be. need to get more sunflowers. That would be great. That would be absolutely wonderful. But despite all the other, nonsense that happened this episode, I still think we've gotten a lot of good stuff done. This will take 800,000 years and then some to put these terrain blocks in, but it's going to be worth it. That was not the right button for me to push, but that's okay. This now means I don't have to have this separated here. I just wanted that to be pulled out. So we have domesticated brambles. I really hope these don't cross paths. But if they do, then, yell at me and I'll fix it. But bramble flowers, gathered by the lumberjack flag, it's right here. How about that? This lumberjack flag also on the giant sequoias will gather... Wait, no. That was changed. That was an update 5 thing. Okay, well, you used to be able to just get regular logs from these with a lumberjack flag, but I guess that's not a thing anymore. Okay, well, it's fine. No sense worrying about it. I'm just really glad this works now. I am glad we finally have this starting, and I hope you can forgive the incredible stupidity of accidentally deleting the Tree Nursery after all that. But that's it. I really appreciate you guys watching this series, giving helpful feedback, letting me know when I'm being stupid, because sometimes I don't figure it out. Sometimes I do. But it is truly not possible to continue doing all this without your support and those who are on the Beard Booster list, directly subsidizing the madness and making it so I don't have to sell you headphones or sketchy therapy websites or frozen food or whatever. Just having fun playing with the beavers and enjoying the process of playing the game and the entire game, not cutting out a whole bunch of stuff just so we can get things a little bit quicker. That's how I like to do things. It's not how everybody likes to do things, but it's how I like to do it. And those folks make it possible for us to be authentic without trying to sell out so I can make a quick buck. If it's not fun, why are you doing it, right? Whenever this stops being fun, I'll stop doing it. But I'm having a great time, and I hope you are too. Whatever it is you're doing with the rest of your day, stay safe, have fun. We'll see you back in this series on Friday, and we'll see you tomorrow for the 1,000 Beaver playthrough. We got some cool stuff happening there. Take care, friends. Bye-bye.